Hi, I'm Jen, and this is a Sims 4 speed build. So, this is part 4, I think, of this little mini series. I decided instead of trying to build and cram in an entire apartment building in one video and not really giving each apartment or the building and the outside itself, for that matter, enough time to really show it off, I thought I would break it up into parts. So part 1 is the building of the main structure and like sort of a general floor plan, and the yard, all the gardens, the backyard where everyone can hang out together at. And then each of the videos after that is each of the 4 apartments, and we are on apartment number 3. So it's part 4 because the building itself took up part 1, but it's apartment 3, if that makes sense. We have one more apartment to go, and then this build will be up on the gallery, and we will be done with this little series. So this one's a fun one. I had an idea in mind. Initially, my idea was maybe a grandmother or an older lady taking care of anywhere from 2 to 4 kids that she adopted, if you will. If it's an older lady, then yes, it would be adoption, but I don't think that the game cares much. Like, if you had grandparents, parents, and children living in the same household and the parents died, the game wouldn't care. They would just, like, those Sims would be gone. As long as there's adults living in the house, the children can stay, but it's not like you have to adopt them or anything. So in my mind, it was initially a lightly eccentric light, if you will, grandmother or older lady who had taken in, a few kids, all from the same family. Their parents had died. She loves all things bright and fun and colorful. She's the kind of older lady that if we had birds in the game, she would have a whole room just full of birds and bird cages and bird stuff. But as it is, we don't have birds, so I made her a cat lady instead. And there is some cat stuff, not a ton, but a little bit of cat stuff here and there scattered throughout the apartment. It's very colorful. I tried not to make it too clownish. I tried to make it make sense, even though it's also really colorful as well. I didn't want it to be gaudy or garish. I wanted it to be nice, if not lightly eccentric, but still have a lot of color and brightness and happiness to it. Eventually, I ended up settling on a palette of like a seafoamy green color, a pastel but also not pastel, because in the bedroom I use a darker version of it. So like maybe a grayish blue, seafoamy green, grayish blue, pink, and yellow. I don't know why. They just worked well together. They helped the rooms flow from one into the next. And honestly, a lot of the carpets and paintings that have, especially like the seafoamy greens in them, also tend to have a lot of pinks and yellows in them as well. So that was kind of what I was going off of for all of this was kind of a couple of different paintings and a couple of different rugs, area rugs that kind of all had these colors. Now, for this room, it was a little bit harder to do the grayish blue or the seafoam green. So I decided to go somewhere in between with this, like, I don't know, is this cyan? Is it turquoise? Whatever this blue is here. Um, I decided to go with it because it feels a little bit like it's in between blue and green, and there's lots of pink in here, so it does flow nicely with the rest of the house. Even though I could not, like, I could have. There are beds, I just didn't like any of them, and there are carpets, and I didn't like any of them for this room. I wanted this, not carpets, curtains, sorry. I wanted this curtain and I wanted these beds and I wanted this room to be a little bit more artistic in nature. People who, or children who love arts and crafts and all things bright and colorful and summery and sunshiny and just, I don't know, very kid and fun loving, if you will. So that was the thought process that I had in my head. So for me, the kids that I would put in there would be very art loving kids. And then I decided to do the bathroom next because it was super easy and I was struggling a lot with the living room and I just did not want to work on it at the time. Also, I may or may not have decided after watching the Doctor Who Christmas special for this year and meeting the new doctor and his new companion and everything, I decided to go back and start watching Doctor Who, starting with New Who in 2005. I can't tell you for sure where I got introduced or how I got introduced or why I got introduced to Doctor Who. All I remember is I was really, really sick and stuck on the couch for a few days, and maybe I was scrolling through Netflix. I don't remember. I just remember I watched a few episodes, and I think they were the David Tennant episodes. I'm like, this is interesting. I want to go back to the beginning and watch from the beginning. But then again, maybe I did watch it from episode one because I remember feeling very ick when they changed the doctor when the first one left and we got David Tennant, and all I could see every time I looked at him was Barty Crouch Jr. So I didn't like him as the doctor initially, but after watching for a while, he looked less like a Barty Crouch Jr. and more like the doctor, and so I became obsessed. And yeah, the rest is history, as they say. For a couple of years there, after they took it off of Netflix, I did not know that it was on HBO Max, and so I couldn't watch the Jodie Whittaker Doctor episodes. Um, so I just found out recently that they are on HBO Max and you can watch all the new Who episodes up until the current Doctor, which is on Disney Plus. All these streaming services and all their deals and rules and everything, right? So, anyways, I've been obsessed with that, which is partly why I didn't have a video earlier this week, and I'm just getting started now later in the week and later in the day than normal. Because I've been obsessed with rewatching Doctor Who. So that I can watch the Jodie Whittaker episodes, so that when the new Who comes out in the spring, yeah, I can watch it then because I will get Disney Plus just to watch Doctor Who. And that's why lately I've been doing a lot of science bedrooms for the kids because I'm absolutely obsessed with not science, but like space bedrooms for the kids, because I'm absolutely obsessed. I've always been obsessed with everything space, and this would be my ideal bedroom. This would be the bedroom that I would want to sleep in, is the space bedroom. I'm a little bit less artsy and more space, but not like science space, more like Doctor Who space. A little bit of magic, a little bit of science, a little bit of, yeah, all of that kind of stuff. So the space bedroom is definitely my bedroom. If I was a kid, that's the room I would sleep in. Anyways, enough about my Doctor Who obsession. This one's a little bit longer, also because of my Doctor Who obsession, because I was actually watching it while I was decorating this house. And I was on the part of the Cybermen versus the Daleks, and the end of the Rose era, and just that those episodes, like watching two bad guys or two sets of bad guys up against each other, just fascinates me. I kind of wonder the mentality behind why have the Daleks win over the Cybermen, but at the same time, oh, you know what? Never mind. You don't care about Doctor Who. You're here to see The Sims 4. I'm sorry. So, just so you know, that's where my mindset was while I was doing this apartment, was Doctor Who. And maybe that influenced the decorating style a little bit. But also, after I came up with this idea of a grandmother or an older lady adopting children and kind of raising them in her apartment with them, I got a comment on another video that suggested, and forgive me because I can't remember the commenter's name at the moment, and I don't remember which video it was under now, because that's just how my brain works apparently. But they commented a single person with cats. And so I combined that idea with my original grandmother raising adopted grandchildren idea, and I made this, and I had the most fun, and it wasn't just because I was watching Doctor Who, but I had the most fun decorating this apartment because it was so fun and colorful, and I didn't let a particular style, for the most part, I didn't let a particular style sort of dominate my decision making. I just kind of I let the colors lead me around the apartment, and I had fun with it. I didn't try to make it a nicely decorated space. I just put all the different things that I thought looked pretty together, and it makes it very eclectic. I will give you that. It is extremely eclectic, but I think it works because I kept the same color ideas going throughout. And so I think it works. You have a little bit of country with a little bit of boho, with a little bit of modern tucked in here and there, with, you know, a little bit of traditional and a little bit of kid oriented stuff, or kidcore as they call it these days. And I think because the colors all work really well together, the styles all work really well together, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's just kind of a tiny peek into the inner workings of my brain. Apparently, I just let it all out there for a minute, or like 10 minutes. But yeah, the dining room is not my most favorite room. I think by this point I kind of I don't want to say lost interest or motivation. I kind of lost where I was going with it a little bit. Not completely, because it still has some fun elements to it. I love the mirror from the I forget what it's called, the werewolf pack. Um, I love that mirror, but it's very seldom that you can actually use it and it looks good. And I thought that it looked really appropriate in this apartment and setting. I did go a little bland with the kitchen. I regret that. And the dining room could have used some more stuff in it. Like, I don't know, books on the table or something. I don't like cluttering up tables though, because your Sims, they may be smarter now, but they're not smart enough to sit at the table. Like, they can't move the clutter out of their way, right? So they'll just go somewhere else and eat. And I kind of like the idea of this family sitting at the table together and eating, not Sims spread out all over the house eating because the table is blocked. You know what I mean? So I think I was trying with the kitchen and the dining room to keep it as playable as possible. So, now that we've done this and I've talked your ear off, let's get into the walkthrough so you can see it from a Sims perspective a little bit more. Okay, let's go into the front door here, and here we have the entryway. It gives you kind of a feel for what to expect from the rest of the apartment. Very green, a little bit of red and pink as well. I couldn't find these other items in pink that I liked enough to go with it, so I just did them in red, but it still kind of works. I mean, there's heavy on the yellow and again the green in here, but that's okay. Red and yellow go together fine. Ask McDonald's. Anyways, then the yellow carries over into here, but we bring a lot of the pink back, which I think works. And it's still very fun and eclectic. So let's go. Oop, wrong button. Now I have no idea what there. Let's go into the first bedroom. This is the more arts and crafts sim bedroom. Lots of pictures, lots of cute artsy type stuff, or at least in my mind, that's what it is. Anyways, what an art loving child might like. And then we'll just go around here. I believe this is the adult bedroom. It is. It's the biggest bedroom, not necessarily the bedroom for the adult, but it is the only bedroom that a double bed will fit in. So this one's a little bit darker, definitely a lot more blue, which is a lot more soothing, sanctuary for the adults, if you will, but there's some fun yellow in there. That is my mouse. I'm really sorry. Anyways, I tried to carry the yellow all throughout, except like the kitchen and the bathroom, because I thought it would help make it more cohesive once I left that entryway, because that's just kind of how it happened in the living room. And I'm like, I better keep this going. Now, here's where the kids have a lot of fun. It's the back hallway, I guess, of the apartment leading to the back door leading outside. This is where all their science and art projects are at. And then we have one more bedroom all the way back here in the back of the apartment. And it's my favorite bedroom, the space bedroom. I love this one. This would definitely be where I would want to sleep. And yeah, that takes us back to the dining room. I didn't do anything with the front or back porches for this one. I don't know why. Again, just didn't really think about them for this family. And then your really boring basic kitchen. But you can add some fun photos to the family photo frames there and liven it up a little bit. But otherwise, it's your basic kitchen just to get the job done. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this speed build. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Here's another look at that living room because I think this might be my favorite room in the house. There you go. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.